Ladies and gentlemen, we are finally back and ready for more BSGL action. It has been a long time since we posted, and honestly, it was just a lot of effort and stress to just try to get these videos out. Double uploading every day was a little hard for me, so we're not going to be doing that anymore. But we will have consistent uploads again, and we're going to start with the BSGL. I recorded all of these games forever ago, like when I was still consistently uploading, but just didn't find it in my heart to want to edit them and everything. So I'm doing that now. So all the box scores and everything was from a month ago, but everything else is from pretty much now. So let's just hop right into it.
Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the BSGL. Today we continue after the All-Star break into month 6 highlights. This is the second to last video that we will have before it is playoff time, as we need to jump into some box scores. Apollos beat the Sting by 11 in Sacramento, 21 for the Lions, 16, 10, and 10 for Williams, a triple-double, and then 13 for Villa and Clark. As then for the Apollos, 18 for Blumenfelder, 16 for Gaines and Brown, 13 for Oakley, and then 12 and 10 for McCoy. As then the next day, the Bison went to the Wranglers and took a 12-point L, 24 for Outlaw, 23 for Witherspoon, and then 16, 14, and 15 for Lamar Shelton. That's a triple-double. As then for the Bison, Towers led the way with 19, 17 for Davis Reitzel, and then 16 for Strawberry and Carter. Just 15 for Bates, and 6 and 10 for Lu Feng. So he was just 2 of 9. As then the Predators beat the Pioneers by 5. Cade Cunningham with 24, 11, and 9. 24 for Dandridge, 18 for Spears, 16 for Shaw. As then for the Predators, 24 for Snyder, 21, 7, and 15 for Ball, 18 for O'Gallagher Jr. and Parker, and then 14 for Taylor, as Walker Kimber also had 11 assists. As then the Hilltoppers went to Denver and took a 9-point out of the Goblins, 32 for Wade Cage, 16 and 12 for Jamison, 14 for White, Whitney, and Anderson. As then for the Hilltoppers, 25 and 10 for Parker Puff, 17 and 10 for Bowen, 15 for Sullivan, and then 14 for Wright. As the Pandas beat the struggling Brigade, the loss of DeJuan Jones is really hurting that team. 28 for Domer Cant, 22, 18, and 15 for Kahn, 19 for Newman, and 18 and 15 for Bosch. And pretty big games for all the Pandas as Alexander Walker had 13 and 11 and a double-double, but only 5 points. As for the Brigade, 16 for Woodard, 12 for Lumpkin, 11 for Abdul Aziz, Ireland, and Manning, but still just hurting without DeJuan. As the Bison took another L, this time to the Enforcers, a 1-point L in Chicago, 29 for Will Trust, 15 for Hawkins, 14 for Sanders. As Morris definitely struggling this season, just 9 points on this game for him, as they are still missing the rookie Louis Keller, as well as 26 for Lester Bates, 16 for Ahern, 15 and 11 for Towers, 12 for Davis Reitzel, and then 11 and 10 for Lu Feng. As in the Hilltoppers took a 3-point L in Arizona to the Blaze, 26 and 10 assists for Riley, 20 and 14 for Pittsnoggle, and then 20 for Baker, and 15 for Johnson. That's for the Hilltoppers, 19 for Holland Corn, 18 for Bowen, 17 for Childs, and then 14 for Aycock, and 12, 10, and 9 for Parker Puff. As then nothing on the 24th. So then today, the Apollos beat the Goblins by 3 in Denver, 28 and 21 for Wade Cage, 15 for Whitney, 14 for Red and Fisher. As in for the Apollos, 31 and 10 for Hayden Oakley, 16 for Brown, 13 for Hart and Blue, and then 12 for the rookie Gaines, and 11 for Appling and McCoy. As the Bison destroyed the shift, 114 to 73, 14 for Haley, 11 for Coleman and Foster, 10 for Hamilton, and then 7 and 17 for Gus. As Lu Feng had 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 8 steals, 18 for Bates, 17 for Carter, 14 for Strawberry, and 13 for Davis Reitzel. As that send us into this week's game, as we will go to the Wolfpack at the Buzz.
It is good to be back, as our first game is out in Utah, as the Buzz take on the visiting Milwaukee Wolfpack. As here is Shackelford in the corners. He's going to find Cartwright, who gets us going with a nice slam. As now Johnson inside going up against the man, just bullying his way through as he hits the nice fancy layup. As here's Funderburg. How about that pass inside to Leonard, who punches it home with 2 hands. It's a 4-point game. Johnson right around his man, making Alan Smith look silly there, as it's 10-6. Here is O'Hay, who was acquired from the White Whales. Misses the jumper. Big Show, the rebound, and the poster from the rookie. As we have a 12-12 game. Here's Quang firing up the 3. Former Denver Goblin knocks it down. It's 21-14. Here he is again, as he's going to lose it. And that is the man whose name I can't say, who was acquired from the Dallas Wranglers, who throws it down on the other end. I have absolutely no idea how to say his name, and Wallace punches one home. But I do not really care to look up how it is pronounced because I will still butcher it either way, as Cartwright throws down yet another lob from Funderburg, because here he is inside up against Williams Strong as he makes him look Williams weak as he goes right around him and punches that one home. The cheesiest one-liner you've ever heard. And another DeAndre Johnson slam. Here he is mid-range, knocking it down. He's not going away yet. Opens up the second half with a nice jumper. Here he is again, dancing mid-range, step back, fires it up and good. 39-32. As now Buzz coming again the other way. Williams Strong flipping one up and in. Buzz doing all that they can to get back in the game. They're still down 5. Here's a pass inside to Johnson, who goes up and one. Foul goes against Hayton as he knocks down the free throw. We're down to a 2-point game. Quang again, screen, fires, shot, good. 3 ball is money from the point guard. Johnson bully balling his way inside again, 46-41. Here is, what is that, Dayton in the corner. He knocks down the 3. I don't know what Johnson was thinking there on defense, leaving him that wide open. As here's Johnson firing up a 3 of his own right before the end of that quarter as he knocks it down. As the Wolfpack have enough time for just one more shot, and it's good. Like a 70-foot heave from the opposite three-point line falls for the Wolfpack. As here's Leonard inside, missing it as he's going to get his own offensive rebound and punch one home. It's a 15-point game. Here's Smith inside to Leonard, who goes up, misses it. Wagner the rebound, and Leonard strips him, and he's going the other way and throwing it down. He will get his points. It's now a 13-point game. Here's Hayton knocking down the 3, and that will do it. A 14-point win for the Wolfpack in Utah to open us back up here in the BSGL.
So here we are checking out the box score that we just saw. The Wolfpack defeat the Buzz in Utah by 24, 36 for DeAndre Johnson, 25 for William Strong, and then 10 for Willingham, as nobody else was even in double digits. 12 rebounds for Wagner, but not a whole lot going on else there for anybody else. 37 and 13 for Kermit Leonard, a huge game for him with 2 steals and blocks, no turnovers. 26 and 12 for Wallace, 18 and 10 for Cartwright, and 13 for Quang. Smith only had 4 points, so this was really a good game there for the non-All-Stars, I guess, for the other guys. As the Cobras took a 12-point L in New Orleans to the Pandas. Domer Camp with 21, 19, 8 and 7 for Midas Khan with 3 steals, 2 blocks, 19 for Hayes, 15 for Newman, and 14 for Bosch. As 34 and 10 for Evan Stone, 30 for Dyson, and 14 for Teague. As then the Apollos beat the Pioneers by 2 in Portland. 29, 9 and 12 for Cade Cunningham, 22, 10 and 8 for Spears, 20 for Witherspoon, and 12 and 12 for Shaw. As then for the Apollos, 28 and 12 for Oakley, 21 for Brown, 15 for Hart, 14 for McCoy, and 11 for Gaines. As then the Townhawks took a pretty hard L in Atlanta to the Legends, 21 for Marks, 21 and 22 for George, 19 and 9 for the rookie Simpson as he went 5 of 5 from outside, 16 for Arnold, and 13 for Harms and Walker Kimbrough. For the Townhawks, 17 for Green, 16 and 12 for Myers, 14 for Galifianakis, and then 10 for Valentine. So on the 27th, the Hustlers beat the Flamingos by 7, 31 for Little, 24 for Natchbar, 16 for Reed, 14 for Duncan, and then 10 for Abdul Wahad and Pittman. Is then for the Flamingos, 36, 11, and 15 for the MVP Achille Antonov, 21 for Stackhouse, 14 for Nanaji, and 13 for Cauley Stein. As in the Shift, took a 14-point L to the Goblins, 22 and 13 for Jamison, 19 and 11 for Cage, 18 for Baldwin, 13 and 10 for Whitney, and 10 for Anderson. As in for the Shift, 19 for Long, 12 for Hamilton and Foster, 10 for Hefflinger, and 10 for Towns. So Whiting Raymond also grabbed 10 boards. As then on the 28th, Pioneers beat the Wranglers by 6 in Dallas, 26, 14, and 8 for Shelton, 22 for Outlaw, 14 for Mobley, and then 14 and 10 for Witherspoon as Porter, Ruffin Pratt, and Worley Tolbert all had 10. As Dandridge had 29 points, 8 rebounds, 18, 10 and 10 for Cunningham, 13, 10 and 10 for Spears, as that's 2 triple-doubles for the Pioneers, and then 13 for Shaw. As then the Cobras beat the Knights by 11 in Memphis, 29 and 10 for Ivan Heinsohn with 4 blocks, 20 for Bohannon, 18 for Martinez, 17 for the rookie Beefy Beefcakes, and then 12 for Sloan. As in for the Cobras, 52 more for Evan Stone, 7 of 7 from outside with 12 assists, 42 for Dyson. So that's 94 for the Cobras backcourt combined. That is crazy. 14 for Fisher, and then 12 for the rookie Steele. As the Shift beat the Buzz in Utah 28-11 for DeAndre Johnson, 16 for Strong, 13 for Wagner, 11 for O'Hay, and 10 for Willingham. As the Shift had James Long lead the way with 21, 16 for Towns, 15 for Riller, 13 and 16 with 9 assists for Foster, and then 10 for Coleman and Haley. As then on today, this is the game we're going into. We will head out to Orlando to watch the Huskies take on the Apollos.
So we are in Orlando here for game number 2 of month 6 highlights as the Apollos win the tip. Here is man going down inside and no good, but Hayden Oakley is there for the follow-up jam as this game is already 10-0. Here is Owen Bradley looking for a quick start here for the Huskies. He goes in and finally puts in a shot as they are known for really not getting going out of the gates. As here's Raven just throwing up a 3 in transition and he knocks it down somehow. 7-point game. Here is the rookie Tubbs Martin going right at his man, going around him and through the defense, punching one home. Look at the little man fly. A serious screen from Thornburn. Nobody gets in the way as he flies again and punches another one down with the left hand. Here is the rookie Gaines, the second overall pick, who just knocks down the 3 in a man's face. 6-point game as rookie point guards have stolen the show here as Chubbs goes inside again. He's got 6 of his team's 11 points as now here he is driving one more time as he puts it up. That one won't fall as the Apollos do rebound, and now Oakley the other way, and he's going to finish on a ferocious jam. 17-11 now. Here's Jackson inside looking. He is going to find who else but Martin for 3. Look at Chubbs knock it down. It's got to be the headband as it's down to a 3-point game, and he has way more than half of his team's points as he just got sauced there on the Euro step. But here he is, other end, working on the same man. He spins and goes around and finishes. 3-point game as Chubbs Martin has stolen the show as the Apollos knock down a 3 to keep a 6-point lead. Now we're down to 2. Here is Gaines working on the good defender Bradley. He's got defenders all over him. Bradley harassing him, Jackson harassing him. He goes up, no good, but Oakley's there to finish it yet again. 2-point game, 13 seconds left. Here is Bradley going down. He's going to throw one down on a huge highlight reel jam. Punches it down. Here's Raven, screen from Thornburn. He's looking around. He's doing all sorts of crossovers. Has to put one up as the shot clock expires. Knocks it down. And that is the Huskies' first lead on the night, but it's already gone as they're down 3, and here come the Apollos. As I'm slowly starting to relearn everybody's names, just look at Oakley. Hit Thornburn with the pump fake. Got him up in the air and finishes easily. It's a 7-point lead. Here's Raven with another 3. No good. Felder the rebound. He goes to the rookie Gaines, who brings it up. Goes to Oakley, who throws it up, as that is not Gaines, my bad, but he knocks down the 3 as Oakley is putting in work. This is the rookie Gaines 12-point game. Look at him lose the man with the crossover as he steps back and puts in the 3. 15-point game as Chubbs Martin still trying to do it all for his team. Gets stripped from behind, and there's MJ Hart going inside, and Jackson caught up and said no. A monster rejection and jam there for Jackson as he catches the lob. Here's Gaines finding Oakley. He goes in the corner to Hart, who throws in the 3. It is a huge 14-point lead heading into the 4th. Here's 6 seconds left. Why not add on to it? Another MJ Hart 3. And now it's a 17-point game as we head into the 4th. Now a 15-point game with 5 to go. Here's Chubbs working inside as he gets the man with the same Euro step that was used against him earlier. Here's Oakley driving inside against Jackson as Jackson can't reject that one. 13-point game. Here's Bradley crossing over, going inside, puts up the floater and 1. Foul goes against Oakley. But this might be a little too late here for the Huskies as they're still down 13 as Bradley goes inside and throws down a right-handed jam. It's now still a 16-point game with just a minute left. As here's Justice finding Bradley for 3, as why not pad the stats a little bit here at the end of the game, as it will be an 11-point win here for the Apollos, as that will definitely help them in their playoff chase.
Checking out the box score on the game, the Huskies do fall to the Apollos 89-105, 33-22-7 for Oakley, 31 for Hart, and then 13 for Gaines. Felder had 22 rebounds for the Huskies, 30 for Bradley, 26 for Martin, and 10 and 17 for Jackson, as Santos de Oliveira grabbed 17 rebounds as well. The Goblins lost to the Sharks by 7, 23 for Pope, 20 for Ellis Jr., 15 for Godez Bowler, and then some double digits for just a
about everybody, as 19 for Baldwin, 18 for Anderson, 17 for Wade Cage, and then 14 for Flowers and Jameson, who had a double-double. As then on the second, the Wolfpack beat the Townhawks by 13, 22, 9, and 6 with 3 steals, 2 blocks, and no turnovers for Xander Myers, 14 for Gallup Galifianakis and Valentine, then a lot of people with 10, 23 for Smith, 15 and 11 for Leonard, and 14 for Shackelford and Quang. As then on the third, Cobras beat the Predators, 23 for O'Gallagher Jr., 17 for Parker, 15, 6, and 10 for Ball, and 13 for Solomon. 50 more for Evan Stone with 13 rebounds, 18 and 10 for Big E, 17 for Fisher, 16 for Dyson. As then on the fourth, the Hustlers lost to the Pandas, 21 and 11 for Midas Khan, 18 for Ellington, 17 for Domercant, 11 and 12 for Bosch. Natchbar had 25, 23 for Little, 17 for Pittman. As where was Rob Duncan? Whoops, wrong team. Duncan just had 2.7 rebounds. Not a great game from him. As then their brigade took an L to the Bison without. DeJuan Jones, 26 for Davis Reitzel, 21 and 7 for Bates, 21 and 13 for Strawberry, and then 13 and 10 for Lu Feng. 36 for Woodard, 12 for Maravich, 10 for Manning. And then in the fifth, the Sting beat the Wolfpack, 26, 10, and 8 for Smith, 15 for Leonard, 13 for Shackelford. Whoops. Then for the Sting, 27, 18, and 12 for Brian Williams, 16 for Garuba, 15 for Roach, 13 and 12 for Lions. As the Titans took a 1-point L to the Buzz in Utah, 22 for O'Hay and Wagner, 12 for rebounds for Wagner, 20 for Willingham, 19 and 12 for Johnson, and 12 assists for Williams. Strongest Figueroa had 21, along with Doug White, who had 16 rebounds, 5 steals, 3 blocks, 4 assists, 16 for Hardy, 14 for Manchin Guana, and 13 for Moncrief. As the Hustlers beat the Wranglers, 29, 6, and 11 for for Shelton, 26 for Outlaw, 17 and 15 for Witherspoon, 25 for Natchbar, 21 and 18 for Duncan, 17 for Hammond, 16 for Little. As then the Moose beat the Flamingos by 14, 31, 10, and 16 for Antonov, 18 for Stackhouse, 15 for Jordan. As then Hanlon had 18, Love 16, Banks and Holmes 15, and Gilbert had 13, and Kellogg had a double-double. Then on the 7th, Shift barely beat the Sting, 18 for Haley and Towns, 14 for Foster, and 13 for Coleman. And then Gus Hefflinger had 11 and 11. Roach had 15, 14 for Clark, 13 for Gruba, 12 for Richardson, 11 for Lyons, and 10 for Williams. As in the Moose beat the Legends on primetime, so I'm not going to go through that one. But the Sharks took a 7-point L to the Townhawks, 38 for Harrington, 22, 22, and 10 for Myers. 18 for Takashiki, 15 for Somerton, 25 for Tyler, 18 for Gilded Butler, 17 and 10 for Pope. As then the Pioneers beat the Knights by 10, 27 and 11 for Shaw, 20 for Canute, 16 and 10 for Spears, 14 for Weatherspoon, 10 and 14 for Cunningham. As then, for the Knights, 36 and 19 for Heinsohn, 12 for Weatherspoon, and 11 for Baxter. As then on the 8th, 127 to 112, the Royals beat the Cougars, 23 and 12 for Akibono, 16 and 10 for Adams, 15 for the rookie Russell Flynn, and 13 for Cambridge. So Rich Mack had 41, 15 and 7 up against Akibono Shang, 23 and 13 for Dimes, 14 for Miller, and 12 for Rogers. As then on the 9th, the Predators took an 8-point L to the Moose, 28 and 10 for Farmer, 16 for Gilbert, 13 for Banks and Holmes. As then 21 and 10 for Kevin Ball, 15 for O'Gallagher Jr., 13 for Solomon. As then the Titans destroy the Sharks by 33, 21 for Gildreth Butler, 16 for Tyler, 15 for Kikanovich, 14 for Anderson, 25, 10, and 11 for Figueroa, 23 for Manchin Guana, 21 for Carpenter, 20 and 12 for Green. As then the Bison beat the Skylanders by 13, 21 and 15 for Francis, 16 for Dambrauskas, 15 for McDyess, and 14 for Davis and Duhan, 22 for Strawberry, 20 for Fung, 19 for Bates, 15 for Hearn, 14 and 19 for Towers. As the Wolfpack took a 10-point L at home to the Pioneers, 20 for Shackelford, 15 for Smith, 13 and 11 for Cartwright, and 10 and 10 for Leonard. As Cunningham had 21, 8 and 7, 17 and 12 for Spears, 15 for Weatherspoon, 14 for Cassell, 12 for Canute. As then nothing on the 10th, as the Bison beat the Titans pretty good, 24, 6 and 9 for Figueroa, 16 for Green, and then not a whole lot else for anybody else. As it doesn't look like Doug White played for the Titans. Maybe he's hurt or something. 20 for Lu Feng, 19 and 11 for Towers, 18 for Leto, 17 for Bates, 16 for Carter. As in the Flamingos took an L to the Skyliners in New York in overtime, 33 and 16 for Francis, 20 for Solomon, 18 for Westerman, 17 for Richards, 15 for Davis. As in Antonov, 41, 17 and 20, 26 for Stackhouse, 20 for Collie Stein. As then today, the Cobras lost to the Hilltoppers by 10, 23 and 11 for Puff, 17 for Honcorn, 16 for Bowen, then 26 for Teague, 22 for Dyson, only 19 for Stone. As the Titans got back against the Hustlers, Natchbar had 23, Reed had 23, Little with 22, Abdul Wahad with 10 along with Kendrick, and then Duncan had just 9 and 19 as Doug White came back for 34 and 13, 19 for Manchinguana, 16 for Figueroa, and 15 for Hardy and Green. As then the Pioneers took a 10-point out of the shift, 30 for James Long, 17 for Foster, 13 for Haley, 12 for Hamilton, 10 for Coleman. Then Spears had 15 along with Cassell, 13, 9, and 15 for Cunningham, and 13 for Youngman. As then that will send us into today's game, which is the Legends at Sharks. So we are in the great city of San Diego here for game number 3 of month 6 highlights. So here's Walker Kimbrough looking inside for George, and that looked like it got rejected by Gildreth Butler, who's heading the other way as nobody comes to stop ball, and he easily knocks down the 3 as Atlanta's having the same problems that the Huskies had. They cannot get going here in the game. They're already trailing 6-0. How about Simpson, the rookie, wide open for 3. He knocks it down. 3-point game. Now it's a 7-point game. Atlanta is, what are they doing here on the inbound defense? Ellis Jr. easily gets a bucket right underneath the goal. As here's another 3 fired up by the Sharks as they cannot seem to miss here in the first quarter. It is 5-25 now, about midway through the second quarter. Here's Narouche for 3. Why not? Another one for the Sharks. 13-30. As it has gotten bad, as here's Harms looking for Walker Kimbrough, back to George. Good ball movement, back up to Harms, top of the key, as he knocks it down, as they still have not broken 20 though, and it is almost halftime. 1 minute to go, they're still at 16, as here's Randall Kekanovich throwing it down on the inside, a man's jam. As now Walker Kimbrough looking around, he goes inside to George, who matches the punt, or matches the jam with one of his own. As the Legends have finally broken 20, as here's Ronald firing up a 3. He knocks it down. He was acquired from the Sting. As now a 7-point game. Here's Ronald harassing Pope, as now George ends up with it. He's headed the other way inside to Walker Kimbrough, who lays it up and in. It's just a 5-point game after a 9-0 run by the Legends. Ellis Jr., how about the slick bounce pass into Anderson? So I got a little choked up there, but it's a 6-point game. Reddish looking inside as he's going to go out to George. As George, why not fire up the 3? He knocks it down to just a 3-point San Diego Sharks lead. As here's George working inside to Matt Harms, who throws down a ferocious jam with both hands. Gildreth Butler now working inside against Marks as he puts up the reverse layup. It is good. And with just 24 seconds left, the Sharks have the ball up 6 as the Legends really could not complete the comeback. And George gets called for defensive 3 seconds. Talk about putting the nail in the coffin. As here's this, the Legends' final possession. Brantley comes up with a rebound, goes out to Fields, who bricks it. And they are going to lose this one 46-53. Once again, another game with some pretty big playoff implications. And the Sharks do come up with the big home W.
Checking out the box score on the game, the Legends take a 12-point L to the Sharks, 21, 9, and 5 for Gildreth Butler, 18 for Anderson, 17 for Pope, and 10 for Eastern. As in for the Legends, 31 and 19 for Matt Harms, as he went 2 of 2 from outside and 11 of 12 from the field. Pretty good game for him. 18 and 11 for George, and then nobody else really did much of anything. As then the Bison destroy the Wolfpack 130-91, 27, 5, and 6 with 4 steals for Allen Smith, 19 for Funderburk, 17 for Shackelford, and then 20 and 12 for Bates, 19 for Strawberry, 18 and 9 for Towers, and 18 for Ahern, 15 for Davis Reitzel, and then 14 for Iguodala. As the Royals beat the Flamingos by 3, as the Flamingos now 11 and 15, 35 for Jordan, 21, 12, and 21 for Antonov, 15 for Stackhouse, and then 12 for Cauley Stein, 11 for Aflalo and Greenwalt, 40 points for Kenny Dimes along with 15 assists, 29, 11, and 10 for Rich Mack. That might be his first career triple-double. 16 for Rogers, 13 for Van Breda, Colfin Evans. As then on the 14th, the Bulldogs defeat the Huskies by 6, 22 for Beretta, 15 for Charlie Harper, 15 and 10 for Massenberg, 14 for Armstrong. As then Kenny Justice had 22, 20 and 10 for Bradley, 17 more for the rookie Martin, and then 14 and 13 for Jackson. As the Skyliners take a 35-point L to the Apollos, 22 for Hart and Oakley. Oakley also had 15 boards, 20 for Brown and the rookie Gaines, and then 19 for Blue. As John Francis had 26, 19, 6 assists, 2 steals, and 5 blocks, 15 for Duhan, and then 12 for Richards, and then not a whole lot else going on. As the Wranglers beat the Titans by 13, as the Titans are starting to fall off a little bit, 28 and 10 for Doug White, 17 for Green, 15 and 10 for Figueroa, 10 for Hardy and Scruggs. As Outlaw had 29, 22, 17, and 17 for Shelton, 22 and 11 for Witherspoon, and then 13 for Worley Tolbert. As the Royals win again, they beat the Shift by 5, 18 for Coleman, 13 for Hamilton, 12 and 17 for Foster, 11 for Long. As then Dimes had 29, 21 and 18 for Rich Mack, and 12 for Raven, and then 10 for the rookie Tebow. As the Legends lose another one, this one to the Bison by 11 in Oklahoma City, 24 and 12 for Bates, 20 for Ahern, 19 for Strawberry, 17 for Towers, 14 for Lufung, and 11 for Carter. As Reggie George had 33 points, 27 rebounds, 24 for Marks, 13 for Reddish, 11 for Price, and 10 for Ronald. As then on today, the Cougars destroy the Predators 133-106, 17 for Walker, Kimbrough, and Parker, 16 for Snyder, and then 13 and 14 for Ball. As Adams had 36, 6 and 6, 22 and 19 for Shang, 18 for Kabar Kappa, 13 for Ming and Flynn. As we will then head into our next game, which is our last game, which is Hilltoppers and Wranglers.
We are in the great state of Texas for the final game of month 6 highlights, as the Wranglers do lose the tip to the visiting Hilltoppers. As here is a steal from the Outlaws here to start the game as they go over to Outlaw, who throws it down 2-0. As now it is 17-14. Here's the Hilltoppers as nobody's going to stop Ball yet again. That seems like a problem throughout the league as Shang knocks down the 3, 19-19 here at the end of the first quarter. Here is Worley Tolbert knocking down the 3 as it is a 23 points for all here. As here's the Wranglers knocking down another 3 as it's been a 3-point barrage here. Not really a whole lot of highlights in this game as we are already well into the second quarter. Here is Lamar Outlaw knocking down a 3. It's good to see him back and healthy. He did miss quite a bit of time. As now here's Parker Puff going inside. And we know from the slam dunk contest that he can throw it down as it is a 4-point game. There's Witherspoon bringing it back down to 2 as he punches one home. Now Puff working on the man. Not a lot of time left in the half, just trying to get some little bit of space as he just fires up the 3. It is good. And with .2 left, they are up 5 as now it's a 3-point game. Here is Outlaw driving inside as he throws one down himself in a huge jam there as he did the whole, front clutch, I think it's called, as there's a 3 hit by the Wranglers. The Hilltoppers, as the Wranglers defense just cannot keep a hold on this offense. As now 6-point game. Here's Shelton going inside against Puff, who just caught the lob. And he bully balls his way to an and 1 and knocks down the free throw back to a 3-point game. Now just to 1. Hilltoppers back on offense. Here's a 3, and it is good. 47-43 as here's Shelton inside. Bully balling his way again inside. And he puts up a man's jam. 5-point game, less than 2 minutes to go. Here is Outlaw looking inside for Shelton, who throws it down. Still a 5-point game. They need a stop here with 34 seconds. There's a mid-range shot, and it's good. The DeAndre Johnson lookalike knocks it down as Porter goes over to Shelton, now to Outlaw. A 3 into the game. No good, and with just 10 seconds left, this one is going to be over. A 60-53 victory for the Hilltoppers as they do defeat the Wranglers in Dallas. So checking out the box scores on our last week of play. Of course, the Hilltoppers do defeat the Wranglers by 12, 26 for Outlaw, 22 and 14 for Witherspoon, 12 and 12 for Shelton, and 10 for Worley Tolbert and Mobley, as 28 for Shang, 26 for Puff, 15 for Acock, 10 for Holland Corn. As then on the next game, the Titans do defeat the Huskies by 11, 21 for Justice, 19 and 14 for Thornburn, 18 for Leach, 15 for Bradley, 15 and 12 for Jackson, and 12 for Chubbs Martin. 21, 10, and 12, and 21, 11, and 11 for White and Figueroa. Both had triple-doubles. 19 for Green and Hardy, 16 for Manchin-Guana, 15 for Carpenter, and 10 for Moncrief. There's just so many weapons on that Titans team. The Wolfpack beat the Pandas by 5, 22 for Smith, 15 for Funderburg, and then double-doubles for Leonard and Cartwright. As Shackelford, whatever that name is, and Dawkins all had 11. 17 for Kahn and Bosch, 15 for Newman, 12 for Domerkant, 11 for Hayes, and a double-double for Alexander Walker. As then the Pandas lose again on back-to-back nights here. This time an 8-point loss to the Skylanders in New York, 19 for Solomon, 17 for Westerman, 16 for Francis, and 15 for Richards, 14 for Dambrauskas. 10 for Ellington, as Alexander Walker had 7 points but 11 rebounds. 13 for Hayes and Sunming, 19 for Newman, and 21, 15, and 11 for Midas Khan. And then on the 18th, the Wolfpack take a 3-point L to the Bulldogs, 22-6-5 for Jolly Harper, 16-13 for Armstrong, 13-10 for Massenburg, 12 for Van Exel, and 11 for Beretta. As Smith had 21, 17-14 for Cartwright, 13 for Shackelford, and 10 for Funderburk. As then on the 19th, Cougars beat the Blaze by 12, 29 for Adams and Shang, 15 rebounds for Shang, and then 15 for Honeycutt, 12 for Flynn, and 11 for Cambridge and for Carvacho. Jesus. 38-10 for Riley, 22 for Johnson, 18 for Baker, and 10 for Copeland. As the Wolfpack lost again, this time a 5-point L to the Huskies. Leach with 35, 15 for Raven, 13 for Bradley and Thornburn, and 11 for Justice and Martin. 20 and 11 for for Smith, 18 and 11 for Cartwright, and then 17 for Leonard. As the Titans win again, this time a 7-point win in Brooklyn, 32-6-9 for Stone, 26-10 for Dyson, 15 for the rookie Ernie Steele, and 13 for Kane. As Doug White had 25 and Green had 24 and 11, 16 for Figueroa, 14 for Manchiguana. The Shift win yet another game as they finally got back in their winning ways. They're now 15-10, still probably not good enough for the playoffs, but they win this one by 17 at home. 33 for Finals MVP Long, 17 for Hamilton, 15 for Towns, 12 for Coleman, and 12 and 11 for Foster, 12 for Haley as well. 18 for Domercant and Ellington, 17 for Newman, 10 for Sunming and Hayes. As then the Predators took an L to the Sting by 7 in Sacramento, 23 for Roach, 19 and 12 for Williams, 17 for Richardson, 14 for Lyons, 11 and 10 for Clark, 31 for, I think it's Quindarius or something like that. Yeah, Quindary O'Gallagher Jr., 21 and 10 for Snyder, and then 11, 7 and 8 for Ball, and 11 for Walker Kimbrough. As we didn't even look at the 23 for Roach. Yeah, we did all that. I'm stupid. On the 20th, the Bison get another win. They're now 18 and 8. They beat the Buzz in Utah. 18 for Wagner, 16 for Willingham with 13 rebounds, 14 for Ryder and Abstopkovich, 10 and 10 for William Strong, and 10 for O'Hay. And then Johnson had just 8, 7, and 6. As for the Bison, 24, 9, and 10 for Bates, 21 for Fung, and then 15 for Carter, 14 and 10 for Strawberry. As the White Whales lose a heartbreaker to the Pioneers, they're now 12 and 16, probably out of the playoff race. They could still get in, but they need a lot of help, and that helps the Pioneers greatly, as they're now 14 and 13, and definitely in the driver's seat when it comes to the playoff race with 2 games left on their schedule. 29 and 10 for Cunningham, 20 and 10 for Dandridge, 16 and 8 for Spears, and 11 for Weatherspoon. As for the White Whales, 24 and 10 with 9 assists for M. Boyd, 23 for Cousins, 21 for Jones, and 13 for Del Negro. As then the Flamingos beat the Blaze by 11, 21, 8, 11, and 18 for Achille Antonov, another triple-double with 7 blocks, 19 for Jordan and Stackhouse, 16 for Cauley Stein, 15 for Aflalo, 37 for Riley, 18 for Baker, 15 for Richmond, and all the way down here at the bottom, where's he at, is Pittsnoggle, which is 4 points on 2 and 9 shooting. Titans lose to the Hilltoppers, who were another team that started like 1 and 9 or something like that are now 10 and 16, so definitely doing a lot better. 23 for Shang, 22 for Wright, 14 and 12 for Puff, 13 for Acock, 12 for Sullivan. Figueroa had 23 and 11, 23 for Green, 22 and 19 for White, and then 20 for Hardy. As the Apollos got a 10-point win against the Pandas, they're now 11 and 11. 21 for Newman, 20 for Domercant, and 15 and 14 for Kahn. 41 for Oakley with 12 rebounds, 25 for Blue, and then 15 for the rookie Gaines, as Appling and McCoy both had 11. The Shift do take an L to the Wolfpack. Right as I said, they were back in their winning ways. They take a 7-point L, 20 for Quang, or Kiang, whatever his name is, 19 for Hayton, 17 for Cartwright, 16 for Leonard, 11 for Shackelford, and just 10 for Smith. 30 points for Jerry Foster with 14 rebounds, 18 for Long, and then 13 and 10 for Hefflinger, and 14 for Haley. As in the last game, the Enforcers took an 8-point L to the Sting in Sacramento, 18 for Brooks, 17 for Clark, 14 for Lyons, 13 for Roach, 13 and 17 for Williams. And then for the Enforcers, 22, 7, and 10 for Trust, 17 for Morris, 15 for Gallagher, and then 12 for Mosley McAfee, and 10 for the rookie Louis Keller. But that is all of the time that we have for Month 6 highlights. Thank you guys so much for watching. It is so good to be back. So let me know what you guys want to see besides the BSGL. I don't know how much of those old series that we're going to bring back. Maybe none of them, maybe just this one. But yeah, whatever you guys want to see, let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Bye-bye.